Hello and welcome to this video. My name's Beckham. Over the years I've taken quite a number of pictures of classic cars. They do make great subjects. Most of the time though, I find them at car shows where it's almost impossible to isolate them for a really good standalone image. Now, one of the solutions I discovered in the very early days of digital photography, when composites were not seen quite so often as they are now, it was to remove the car from its original surroundings and give it a completely new background using Photoshop layers and layer masks. Now, I developed my own technique to be able to do this, and I'm going to link to a couple of videos below where I demonstrate the process in some detail. You're seeing the results of my technique for doing this in every one of these images. We're going to need Photoshop, and I still find myself using this same cutout technique rather than some of the newer selection techniques which Photoshop has added in the past few years. A good question to ask would be, why not move on to more modern ways to make a cutout? Firstly, I think I'm a believer in if it isn't broke, don't fix it. But it's because my old technique works every time. It doesn't take an age to create, and it doesn't include complex selections. The quality of the cutout and the finished image is sufficient to create a very large print, should you want one. Anyone can make a cutout of a subject for a small web image, and the small size will hide a multitude of sins. It's another thing to make a cutout that would pass muster with a print that's 30 inches on the long side. There, things have to be done right. Now, as you can see here with this shot, I do seem to have an attraction to red cars for some reason, but they do stand out rather well. Now, once you're comfortable with this Photoshop technique, and it won't take too long, then when you're out shooting cars and you can't quite isolate one, you don't have to worry too much. Now, I think it's fair to say that computer-generated backgrounds are a little bit easier to create. Photographic ones do need to be shot at the right angle, or when we put the car into the shot, things won't look quite right. Now, this technique is not something which is unique to cars. We can use it in a variety of ways. The two videos I've linked to below on YouTube are actually exactly the same technique, just created at different times. Now, you may not be aware, but I do have a complete series of Photoshop videos on my website and on YouTube called Photoshop for Photographers. And I also have a set of videos called Making Effective Selections. Open up Photoshop and take a look. I'll see you next time.